So, hi, I'm Jordan. I am the founder of the Squared Paper Company. We are a minimalist stationery brand based in simplicity and finding the best and most simple planning systems for, I say, people who are bad at planning.
Which we need that help.
Exactly.
I say I need help. Amazing. And we chatted a little bit yesterday. You've got some cool things going on. I'd love for you to just share briefly what you're doing and how you're helping people.
So, the core thing and my favorite thing about the company is with all of the profits, our company is truly rooted in community, and so 10% of our profits from all of our sales, and that includes both wholesale and our like regular direct-to-consumer retail, are all donated back to different community organizations and nonprofits. And so I'm a graduate of Spelman College. We maintain a scholarship at my alma mater. We also support a nonprofit called the 2-6 Project based out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And we're also looking and always looking for other amazing organizations to donate back to ensure that we're supporting the people who support us.
Amazing. Thank you for doing that. That's so awesome.
It literally, like, we wouldn't exist without community. I say, like, the company wouldn't exist without Spelman and my Spelman sisters. And so the minute that we were at the position we could, giving back to them was a priority of mine.
Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay. Are you ready for the resilience round?
Yes, I am ready for the resilience round.
Best business book.
The best business book, I think, is one that's not about business at all.
Okay.
And it's probably my current favorite book, and it's called Here One Moment. It's about this woman who gets on this plane, which is kind of scary in the current circumstances, but she gets on this plane, she's clairvoyant, and she starts telling people when they're going to die how they're going to die. And some people are years out, but some people are more immediate, and the entire book is about if you knew when your life was going to end, what would you do with it? I always think the best business books are simply just about life, and I prefer fiction about life, and so I would say that's my favorite.
Wow, okay, I have to check that out. That sounds awesome. Best retail technology, like an app or software?
I think the best retail technology right now, I would put as Shopify. I think Shopify is winning. I have been on Shopify for years. I've tried a bunch of other e-commerce platforms, and I think Shopify and the way they continue to innovate in their market is my favorite. I'm a UX designer by trade, and they also have some of the best UX I've seen.
They do.
So
it's hard to compete with Shopify.
Exactly.
Yeah. How do you keep up with the ever-changing retail landscape?
I think by being an avid consumer, I love to shop, unfortunately. I don't know if my bank loves it, but I'm constantly shopping. I'm constantly keeping a pulse of what's out there in the stationery world, but also in so many other industries. I think I get lucky because I do UX by trade, and I'm always looking for ways to improve user experience on my own mobile applications for the companies that I do work for. It allows me to really keep a pulse out on user needs, and I can translate a lot of that from the digital space into like the print and paper space. And that's how I kind of inform our next design decisions.
Right. Oh, that's so cool. I love it. To help retailers be stronger, more rooted in success, what's a retail foundational best practice?
I think a best practice is truly and consistently always taking feedback, always having an open ear. If you are not avidly reaching out to your customers for feedback, you have no way of truly knowing what's best to bring in and what they truly want to see or the best way to improve their overall experience. And like I said, I think me being a UX designer makes me biased. All I do all day is interview customers for customer feedback and how they feel about our apps. I used to work at a grocery retail chain, and half of my job was quite literally watching TikToks for people's complaints about the in-store experience and finding ways to improve it.
Wow. Oh, that's fascinating.
So a very niche industry to be in because like I said, not a lot of people in grocery retail. But I think learning from that, and if you can afford to bring on a UX designer, bring on a UX person.
Yeah, or even some beta testing or
exactly,
things like that.
Beta testing, customer research, focus groups, all of that.
Yeah. Oh, great advice. If you had to start your business all over again, what's one thing you'd do differently?
If I had to start all over again, I would launch with our planner instead of our notebooks.
Okay.
The notebooks is what carried us. It was like our original brand for 3 years. We only had notebooks. And then I launched the planner and people were obsessed with it. But it was a bunch of just taking the things and the way that my mind worked and putting it onto paper. And I probably would have done it a lot earlier.
Yeah.
And I think being more creative with our SKU system, offering more of the accessories, I think earlier on would also be one thing I changed.
Okay. Awesome. And finally, what do you think the future of independent retail looks like?
Ooh, that is a good one. My ideal and the thing that I hope is that it continues to be a very strong market. I think because there are so many massive and mega retailers, especially you have your Amazons, you have your all of those things that I think it's kind of scary for independent retailers and like they can take a lot less risk. But I'm a firm believer like we don't sell on Amazon. We're not in any major super big box chains. We do have a couple bigger ones, but I'd like to hope that they still remain strong. I think there's always uniqueness, and I think as kind of corporations continue to like take over the world, there will eventually be a cultural shift back to supporting small, and I hope that it continues to go that way so they can stay strong and continue growing.
Yeah, I agree. How can people connect with you and learn more?
I think if people want to connect with us, you can find us online at thesquaredpaper.com or on our Instagram and social media at The Squared Paper Co.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. No,
Yes,
thank you.
This is so good.